$83.5 billion. That's what Governor Whitmer proposed for the next state budget. That's a lot of money, and it addresses a lot of her priorities for the state. But one proposal could actually cost you more if you hunt or fish here in Michigan, and that's not sitting well with some lawmakers.
Look forward to working with each and every one of you in the weeks and months ahead to finalize a budget by July 1st that will benefit every Michigander.
That's State Budget Director Jen Flood as she presented lawmakers with the governor's $83.5 billion proposed budget. It calls for increasing in spending in a lot of different areas, but some lawmakers say it also calls for more spending from you if you hunt or fish in Michigan.
Does the DNR need more money in order to do the things that we expect the DNR to do?
They claim they do. I want to see that on paper.
State Representative John Roth and others from around northern Michigan were quick to react to their interpretation that the proposed budget uses numbers which include what they call a bump for both hunting and fishing licenses.
That's not taking into account, though, that people that are really hurting today.
The fee increases may mirror what was proposed in the state house last fall, legislation that called for a 50% increase in resident small game licenses and a combo license increase from $75 to $113. In a statement provided to UpNorthLive News, the DNR explained, quote, "It's been 10 years since hunting and fishing license prices have been adjusted in Michigan. Inflation has had a major impact on the purchasing power of revenue generated from license sales."
Just across the board to raise the fees on everybody, that's going to take a really, really healthy debate.
And the fact there wasn't a debate in what was proposed in the governor's budget isn't sitting well with lawmakers. The proposed legislation has not progressed significantly, and so some lawmakers feel the DNR is going out on their own with a fee hike in the new budget.
If they try and do it on their own, that's not going to go over real well with the Appropriations Committee that I sit on with them. So I hope they have a really good discussion with us and sit down and talk about this.
The DNR points out license fees have simply not kept pace with inflation. At the same time, their costs have significantly risen. Quote, "The DNR is faced with two options to manage escalating operational costs for fish and wildlife management, infrastructure repair and maintenance, technology support, and law enforcement. Seek an increase in revenue, license fee increase, or make program cuts." The DNR points out that fewer hunters over the past decade has led to a drop in license revenue. Lawmakers counter that raising prices may drive even more hunters away. It's a complicated debate, and one that may only just be beginning.
This is a start, and it's just a recommendation. A lot of work has to be done before we get to a budget that we can all agree on.
Now, as an example of increased costs, the DNR points out food for the fish that the DNR stocks has increased in cost by 70% over the past few years. Again, this is the governor's budget proposal. It still has to go through an entire process, and with a Republican-controlled state house, it's likely there will be some compromises made.